What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here. It's Thursday. That means it's time for another week of my opening this week's segment, where of course I talk about the new movies opening in either theaters or Netflix. All right. First film I'm going to talk about is Tim Burton's Dumbo, which of course is based on the 1940s anime classic and stars the likes of Ava Green, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Colin Farrell. You also got who else? Alan Arkin's in this. Some good cast members. I've really dug the trailers. I thought the trailers looked really decent. I mean, the big ear flying elephant looks really cool. Although sadly the reviews aren't that great. Like as we speak now, it has like a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm still definitely checking this out because I think it looks great. And I mean, hey, Alice in Wonderland didn't get great reviews, and I really dug that one, so there's that. But yeah, I'm really curious to see. I'm really curious to see Dumbo. The effects also looks cool too. So, also out this week is The Beach Bum. Now, this movie is directed by Harmony Korine, who haven't directed a movie since 2013's Spring Breakers. The Beach Bum looks really good. Like, for one, you got Matthew McConaughey playing a stoner here. The other cast in this includes the likes of Zac Efron, Jonah Hill, Martin Lawrence is in this, Isaac Fisher, Snoop Dogg, Jimmy Buffett. The cast list is pretty decent, so I really dig the cast. And need a good Matthew McConaughey movie to watch after that horrible film Serenity. So hopefully this movie is much better than Serenity was, because Serenity was god awful. But The Beach Bum I think looks really decent. So, and it's a shame that Harmony Korine haven't done a movie since Spring Breakers. Like, he's a really good director, so I'm really curious to see what he does with his follow-up, Alright, next film I'm going to talk about is a film called Unplanned. Here's what it's about. As one of the youngest Planned Parenthood clinic directors in the nation, Abby Johnson was involved in upwards of 22,000 abortions and concealed countless women on their reproductive choices. Her passion surrounding a woman's right to choose to let to become a spokesperson for Planned Parenthood, fighting to enact legislations for the cause she so deeply believed in, until the day she saw something that changed her life, that changed everything. Now, this movie is being released by Perflix, which is interesting because Perflix is more known for like major religious movies like God's Not Dead and I'm Not Ashamed and all that. But this this movie kind of looks terrible. Sad to say, it does not really look like the trailers did not win me over at all, so maybe I'll probably give this a shot, who knows, but yeah. Alright. Next film I'm going to talk about is Making Babies. Now, here's what Making Babies is about. Katie and John, played by Eliza Cope from Future Man and Steve Howey from Shameless, are ready to settle down and have kids, but 5 years later, all they have to show for their efforts is a mountain of negative pregnancy tests and a increasingly elaborate home micro-brewing rig, which John hopes will launch his company. The couple explores the daunting world of medical, spiritual, and homeopathic method to conceive a child. With the cast in this also includes the likes of Bob Stevenson, Elizabeth Rodriguez, Ed Bagley, John Daly, and the late Glenn Headley. That actually looks really funny. I mean, I really like Steve Howey. I think he's great at playing the role of Kevin on Shameless. Eliza Coate is great on Hulu's Future Man. Funny enough, both Ed Bagley Jr. and Glenn Headley also appeared on Future Man, so so this has like a Future Man connection. But I'm definitely interested to check this one out. I mean, it might actually end up being terrible, who knows, but yeah, I'll probably give this one a shot. Alright, next film I'm going to talk about is a film called Relaxer. Now, here's what it's about. Doom and gloom are on the way with the Y2K apocalypse can't be stopped. Abby's older brother issues him the ultimate challenge before it goes down. Beat the infamous level 256 in Pac-Man, and no getting up from the couch until he does so. Abby's survival story begins here, inside a rotting living room with no food or water, and a revolving door of numbnut friends. It's exterminating Angel by way of Slacker. Now, the film is led by Joshua Burge, and this actor named I always can't really pronounce his name that well. His name is David Desmayan, I think his name is. He played one of Scott's friends in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and pretty much in the Ant-Man movies. He plays like that Russian guy from the Ant-Man films. This looks like a weird little film. But I gotta say, the trailer looked pretty decent. I mean, I know it looked really funny. I mean, I don't know if it's like any good or not, but I'll probably give this one a shot. I think it looks weird, but hey, there's always been lots of interesting, good, weird movies out there, so. Alright. Next film I'm going to talk about is Diane. Here's what it's about. For Diane, played by Mary Kay Place, everyone else comes first, generous but with little patience for self-pity. She spends her days checking in on sick friends, volunteering at her local soup kitchen, and trying valiantly to save her troubled, drug-addicted son, played by Jake Lacy, from himself. But beneath her relentless routine of self-sacrifice, Diane is fighting a desperate internal battle, haunted by a past she can't forgive and which drains to her increasingly. Chaotic world apart, built around a extraordinary, fearless performance by Mary Kay Place, and it's directed by Ken Jones as well. This looks like it could be pretty interesting. I mean, Mary Kay Place is a pretty decent actress, and people like saying her performance here is great and all that. So I'll probably give this one a shot, maybe, but we'll see. Maybe not in theaters, but like on TV or online or whatever. Also out this week, there's a film called A Vigilante, which stars Olivia Wilde, who plays a once abusive woman named Sadie who devotes herself to riding victims of their domestic abusers while hunting down the husband she might kill to truly be free. So it's pretty much a film about strength, bravery, and she pretty much tries to take down domestic abuse husbands, and I think this looks cool. I mean, Olivia Wilde, she sometimes can be a hit and miss once in a while, but I think this looks interesting. I mean, Olivia Wilde looks great. Has a few other good casts in this. I'm down to check this one out, maybe like online or whatever. Oh, and speaking of Olivia Wilde, I'm looking forward for her directing film, Booksmart. That looks funny. Alright, there's also a film called White Chamber, which I don't really know much about. It's like set in like the United Kingdom in the near future, and civil war rages, and martial art law has been declared by a military government hellbound on squashing and opposition. So, sounds okay, I guess. The film does star Shauna McDonough from The Descent and Odell Fur, so it could be interesting. There's also a documentary called Screwball, which recounts the high-profile doping scandal that rocked Major League Baseball. Wow, that sounds interesting. There's also a film called The Brink, which is, of course, about a documentary about Steve Bannon, which I'm not all that interested in about. There's a film called The Chaperone, which is about Louise Brooks, who's the 1920s silver screen sensation who like never met a rule she didn't break, and so like the restless, reckless spirit of jazz age. But just a few years later, she was a 15-year-old student in Wichita, Texas, Kansas, for whom fame and fortune were only dreams. And so, like, the opportunity, arises for her to go to New York to study with a leading dance troupe. Like, the lead girl is played by Haley Lou Richardson, who's, of course, in there is now in 5 Feet Apart, which was pretty good. The cast also includes Black Danner, Elizabeth McGovern from Downton Abbey fame. This could be interesting. Also out this week, there's a film called. Get this started. Another film coming out this week is called Slut in a Good Way. Here's what it's about. Slut in a Good Way follows 3 girls who explores their taste of freedom. Charlotte, the recently heartbroken, Megan, the anti-love antichrist, and a virgin who dreams of love. All 3 spin by the guy that at the toy depot. After applying for their first part-time job at the store during this one fateful summer, the 3 girls experience for their first time what it is like to make their own decisions and their resulting consequences. I mean, the trailer looked pretty decent. Like, I actually really dug the trailer for this. I think it looks pretty interesting, and who doesn't love a good raunchy comedy like this? So it's actually in like a foreign film as well, and there's of course subtitles in it. But I'm probably still definitely check this one out. I think this sounds really interesting. Also out this week, there's a film called We Are Columbine, Columbine, I meant to say, which of course is a documentary about the 1999 Columbine campus shooting. And the documentary, by the way, is directed by one of the survivors of that fateful day. Man, I was very young when Columbine happened, and man, I couldn't believe someone could be that cruel and do what they did to a school, like with lots of students and teachers and all that. I mean, can't believe how cruel those 2 guys was. Of course, they since that fateful day, they've been have it had like a couple of other feature films about, like Michael Moore did a movie about the Columbine, and Perflex, which I just mentioned, in a movie called I'm Not Ashamed. But yeah, I'm actually curious to check out this documentary. I think I saw the trailer for it. It looks pretty decent. There's also a film called Lost and Found, which I don't know much about. And there's now that's pretty much all the films I'm gonna talk about there. Now also on Netflix this week, there's a film called The Highwayman, which is about the two patrol guys who hunt down, who pretty much was hired to hunt down Bonnie and Clyde. This of course stars Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson. I think this looks really cool. I'm actually really interested in that. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me leave to you guys. What movies are you interested in checking out this week? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Thomas Ellis signing off.